There comes a moment in every good heart when you realize that your kindness has become your burden. You give and give and give again, hoping that one day your generosity will heal someone, fix something, or finally make things right. But instead you find yourself empty, drained, wondering how something so pure as compassion could begin to feel like pain. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to see how far this conversation is reaching. You see, most of us were raised to believe that helping others is always the right thing to do. That saying yes is a sign of love and saying no is a form of cruelty. From childhood, we were told that a good person must always be available, always be generous, always put others before themselves. But no one warned us that too much giving can destroy us. No one told us that sometimes our help is not help at all. It is interference. Think about it for a moment. When you keep rescuing someone from the consequences of their choices, are you truly helping them, or are you interrupting the very lesson life is trying to teach? When you keep fixing someone's problems, are you giving love or are you feeding dependency? It is a hard truth to face, but love without wisdom can easily turn into harm disguised as kindness. There are people who will drain your strength and call it friendship. There are people who will take every ounce of your energy and call it love. And you will keep giving, because that is what good people do, until one day you wake up and realize that you have nothing left for yourself. So, let us talk about discernment, the ability to see clearly who is truly ready for help and who is only pretending to be. Some people are not helpless. They are comfortable being carried. They are not suffering. They are resting in your effort. You will know them by their patterns. The chronically lazy are masters at excuses. They speak of unfair circumstances, of how the world is against them, but rarely lift a finger to change their condition. You might pay their bills, clean their messes, solve their problems, and each time you do, you tell yourself you are being kind. But what if your kindness is what keeps them weak? Nature teaches us differently. A tree does not keep feeding a branch that bears no fruit. A bird does not continue feeding a chick that refuses to open its mouth. There is a wisdom in letting go, a wisdom in allowing struggle, because it is in the discomfort of effort that growth is born. Some people must feel hunger before they learn how to work. They must face discomfort before they learn how to rise. When you keep rescuing them, you steal the very strength that would have made them capable. You do not help them, you cripple them. Then there are the ungrateful ones, the ones who take your sacrifice as if it were nothing. You could give them your time, your money, your heart, and they will treat it as ordinary, as expected. Gratitude is the mark of a humble soul, one that recognizes that blessings are gifts, not entitlements. But ungrateful people see kindness as weakness. They take and take and take and still look at you as if you owe them more. It is a strange kind of blindness, is it not? The more you give, the less they appreciate it. And when you finally stop, they turn against you, angry that their endless supply has run dry. You may have meant well, but what you were really doing was pouring water into a bottomless pit. And then come the arrogant, the self-righteous ones. They do not seek help. They seek validation. They do not listen for wisdom. They listen for agreement. Try to guide them, and they will argue because their pride cannot bear the thought of being wrong. Pride is a fragile shell, shiny on the outside but hollow within. And when life finally cracks it open, only humility can fill the space that pride once occupied. You cannot help someone who believes they already know everything. You cannot guide someone who sees correction as an insult. The only teacher they will ever listen to is failure itself. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to step aside and allow life to humble them. And yes, there are darker hearts too, the ones who have made deceit and harm their way of life. We do not like to use the word wicked anymore. It feels too harsh. But there are those who deliberately manipulate, lie, and wound others for their own gain. They know exactly what they are doing, and they do it anyway. When you help such a person, you are not saving them. You are sponsoring their destruction. You become a silent partner in their wrongdoing. If you hand them money, they will use it to deceive. If you cover their lies, they will spin more. Their goal is not to change, it is to continue. And if you try to pull them away from darkness, they will pull you into it with them. Some souls are not ready for redemption. They must first walk through their own consequences before they can even desire the light. Then there are the fools, the ones who never learn. They fall into the same traps again and again. Each mistake is followed by the same excuses. You see their pain, you offer advice, and for a moment they seem to listen. But soon they are right back where they started. You rescue them and they drown again. The fool does not need another savior. The fool needs the silence of consequence. Only when the pain of repetition becomes unbearable will wisdom begin to take root. Every time you interrupt that pain with your rescue, you delay their growth. Sometimes the most merciful thing you can do is nothing. But among all these, perhaps the most dangerous is the manipulator. They rarely ask directly. They tell stories. They draw you in. They make you feel seen, important, needed. And before you realize it, you are doing things for them that you would never do for anyone else. They do not take from you. They make you want to give. Manipulators understand empathy better than anyone. They study your heart, find the softest spot and press it gently until you surrender. They wear many faces, victim, hero, saint, and they adapt depending on who they are speaking to. Their power lies in your goodness. They know that kind people feel guilty for saying no, and so they keep you tangled in the illusion of helping, while quietly feeding off your energy. And when you finally see through their disguise, when you decide to step away, they turn on you. Suddenly you are the villain, the ungrateful one, the cold one. They rewrite the story to protect their image. But remember this, when someone's love depends on what you give them, it is not love, it is a transaction. Then there is the unrepentant, the person who knows better, yet refuses to do better. They have been warned, they have been taught. They have seen the destruction of their choices, yet they continue down the same path. They nod when you speak. They promise to change, and the moment your back is turned, they return to their old ways. You keep believing in their potential, telling yourself that this time will be different. But it never is, because change cannot be forced upon someone. It must come from within. You cannot want their healing more than they want it themselves. You cannot carry someone to freedom who keeps choosing chains. So what do? Do we harden our hearts? Do we stop helping altogether? No, we learn to love wisely. We learn discernment, the sacred balance between compassion and self-respect. True compassion does not mean rescuing everyone. It means seeing clearly who is ready to rise and who still chooses to fall. It means knowing when to reach out a hand and when to step back and let life do the teaching. Because pain is not always punishment. Sometimes it is the very medicine the soul requires to awaken. If you give your energy to those who are ready, you will see growth. You will see gratitude, transformation, and light. But if you keep giving to those who refuse to change, all you will see is waste. Not because your heart is wrong, but because your energy has been misplaced. Your time is sacred. Your strength is finite. Your heart is not an endless well. And if you keep pouring into people who are unwilling to receive with responsibility, one day you will wake up with nothing left for yourself or for those who truly deserve your care. So ask yourself quietly tonight, who am I carrying that refuses to walk? Who am I saving from the very lesson that could make them strong? Who am I pouring into that has no intention of growing? And when the answer comes, do not be afraid. Sometimes love means letting go. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to step back and allow life to do what you cannot. Not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with wisdom. Because in the end you cannot save everyone. You can only show the path, and the choice to walk it must belong to them. Pause for a moment. Breathe. And remember, love is not measured by how much you give, but by how wisely you give it. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And before you go, let us know in the comments what this message made you reflect on. Your words might be the light someone else needs to see,